When you think longevity and tenure with one team, Cam Jordan better come up in the discussion. The Saints defensive end is the epitome of health and production. Their all-time sacks leader is coming off of a 4-sack season. That's third most on that New Orleans squad. They missed the playoffs last year and, of course, are still trying to figure out who their new head coach will be. But all those things will get figured out along the way. And as we go on that journey, we now bring in Cam Jordan, joining us on behalf of Old Spice School of Swagger, aiming to increase graduation rates in underserved communities through mentorship. Cam, we'll get to that in a minute or so, but I mentioned the head coach situation with your Saints. I know you've been busy on X giving your vote because Alvin Kamara said his vote for head coach rhymes with fizzy. You said yours rhymes with drizzy. I'm assuming that's not Drake that we're talking about, but it's Darren Fizzy. Am I right?
Man, I feel like we're talking about the Rizzler. Darren Rizzi is a great dude. There's a lot of candidates out there, but that's just it. As players, we can only say, hey, like, I know what he brings to the table. I know how he took over the last, 8 or 9 games, 7 games of the season, and what he tried to do in that time. And I mean, if we're saying just a glimpse of action, what he was able to accomplish. We talk about just the change he happened in the locker room from day one, and how we were even sitting at the lockers, to the way we approached meetings, to the way we approach practice. It was a complete paradigm shift. So if you're looking for a paradigm shift, you don't have to look too far. I think Darren Rizzi did a great job of putting his step forward, his step forward in the right direction, and it would probably have helped for us to be healthier for either of our head coaches.
Do you go talk to Mickey Loomis at all and tell him, hey, this is what I want? Like, does he come to you? Like, you have so much tenure, so I'd figure that you've at least earned the right for your say to mean something and to mean a lot.
Yeah, for an employee to tell the employer what they want. Yeah. I don't know if you know how that works, but it doesn't work well. I think I've definitely had talks with our general manager Mickey Loomis, but that's just it. What does a player want? Oh, we just want to win. When do we want it? We want it now. And how do we want to do it? Expeditiously.
Yeah, I feel that. How are you feeling, though, physically? Because you're getting ready for year 15. Not many people can say they've hit that number in the league. Do you feel like at this stage of your career, is it something that you want to prove still? Or like what gets you going in this offseason right now?
Just that, like I had trained last offseason to be in the best shape of my life. I got down to the best playing weight I've ever been down to. I had focused on everything that I thought I could, and then we had the season we had. So honestly, I think I took a week off, and I'm like, all right, well, now I'm back in the facility. I'm back to working out. I'm back to doing things that I want to do because in my mind, there is unfinished business. I think that with my mental scape as it is now, I really want this year 15 to happen. I really want for us to have a great leader in a head coach, as well as I love the idea of leadership that's still prevalent in our team now, with guys like Demar Davis, Alvin Kamara, the way he's become a leader, Eric McCoy. The way he leads. Again, when you have guys that are healthy or full time, that could have been something that we'd love to see. You sort of just hit this season like we had unrealized potential that we did not capture, and so I just want more.
So then does a year like this where you go 5-12, does it make it easier in the offseason to look ahead to the next season, or do you kind of flush it and forget that as motivation and just use whatever your normal tools are?
I mean, it's the motivation is always there. Motivation for us to win, motivation us to be a better team. Because again, 5-12, that's lackluster. That's something that I've never had before in my 14 years of playing in the NFL. We got to find a way to bring that confidence back, find a way to bring that swagger back, if you will, with that. We'll talk about that later. But when you think about everything that you want to do as a team, you want to win. And the fact that we didn't make the playoffs this last year, but to make the playoffs the last 4 years, man, I'm more confident than ever that we're going to do everything we can to put our best foot forward in chasing just that, the ship. I need one.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk playoffs since you mentioned that NFC Championship, of course, this weekend. Commanders, Eagles, you went up against both those teams. When you see Jaden Daniels, you look at Jalen Hurts. What is it about the two of them, and what is it like going against them?
Yeah, when you talk about those two quarterbacks, you talk about Jalen Hurts, what he brings to the game, the way that he, capitulates that team to greatness. You could say, they've got A.J. Brown, and they've got Devontae Smith, and they've got, Saquon Barkley, and they've got, a star-studded offensive line, if an offensive lineman can be star-studded. But you see the difference would be Jalen. Whatever quarterback takes helm, other than Jalen, it doesn't work. That tush-push is non-existent. So with Jalen, you see what he does. And then, of course, you talk about Jaden Daniels and the way he's lit it up this year. I'm still mad that we somehow, we didn't win that game, but we didn't win a lot of games this year. So that's something that I have to focus on in the offseason. I think that Jaden Daniels, the way he changes his game tempo, the way he's able to adapt, extend plays with his legs, and he's a hell of a player. It's probably why he's going to be the MVP of his team.
You brought it up 2 times now. Let's get to the Old Spice, obviously, because I know the initiative being here. Well, yeah, you hit the lay with me. I'll toss you the lob. I'll let you finish it here, because how important is it to make sure that kids graduate, especially in those communities that are underserved?
It's the next generation, so next up. So it's so important for kids to take advantage of their opportunities. Just like an athlete takes advantage of every time he touches the field of every opportunity presented. You as a kid in high school, as a kid in the educational system, you want to be the best version of you. And I believe the Old Spice School of Swagger program aims to help men build confidence and graduate high school with that mentorship as a critical component.
How important is it to stay warm under these cold temperatures in New Orleans right now? And what is that like? I know you might not be in New Orleans right now, but like, how wild are these images we're seeing coming out of where you stay?
My kids are making snow angels. They're having snow fights, and that is gross. That's cold. I don't do well in the cold, and I'm liking the idea of New Orleans. Like, I see all these pictures of Bourbon Street, but the South is not meant to carry snow. Like, nobody's driving, nobody's like doing active things for the last couple of days. So, as much as a cup of hot cocoa go, it's even better when you can turn on a warm shower and douse yourself in the lakes of Old Spice's Minnetonka.
all of the plugs for Old Spice, if you want to throw some the way over here to HQ, we would appreciate that. And absolutely, I'm sure you're not used to the cold as well, being from Arizona. So like right before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity, because you were beatboxing before we started this segment. Is there anything you want to drop on the people? Like, are you coming for LiAngelo Ball's head? Are you going to drop something on the streets for us?
Ain't nobody swerving on nobody. As much as I respect music, I have zero talent for it. The only thing I have a pitch and desire for is to be a better football player, to be a better, dad, and to, tell everybody to join Old Spice, to sign up to become a mentor today by visiting www.oldsspice.com/School of Swagger, and keep it clean.
Perfect. We can call that a little mic drop, even though you're not doing the MC duties for us, Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
Certainly appreciate the time, and thank you very much for tapping in with us. And stay healthy, stay warm this offseason. We'll look forward to seeing you next year out there on the gridiron with whoever your coach is. And, of course, don't forget, on CBS this weekend is the AFC Championship game. It should be a very good one. Chiefs and Bills, 6:30 Eastern. On CBS, also streaming on Paramount Plus. The whole crew is excited for it. We'll get that football in your veins real soon.